Yo, let's talk about that new My Hero Academia episode, but don't worry just yet, no spoilers, because we are going to talk about the latest My Hero Academia episode for the last match in this video. So if you're just here for the spoilers and the new episode talk, then go to the last episode, the last match on this video. It will be in the timestamps. So if you're just here to talk about the latest episode with me, go to the timestamps. It will be the last match on this video. But of course, if you want to see some gameplay and you don't want any spoilers, just watch the first 1 or 2 games of what I put on here, or however it goes. Again, timestamps are going to be your friend here. And if you want to do both, then hey, watch the whole video. Thank you very much. So, with that being said, the new episode was very good, and I can't wait to talk about it in the last match. But until then, we're just going to hang out and just see what this video has in store for us. All for one, taken out there very nicely. Shout out to Lemony Bubbly, he's in this game. The cultured ones of you will know that he was asking for me in the comments to add him on PlayStation for the longest time. He finally got it, and this match he was in it, funnily enough. So we I think I added him after this game. So yeah, shout out to you, Lemony Bubbly. My name is Lemony Bubbly. My name is Lemony. My name is Lemony Bubbly. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, that new Bakugo outfit over there. Can you see that right now on the screen? The new Bakugo outfit. It is nice, isn't it? It is good. And I would like it. But here's the thing with me. The new Bakugo outfit, it's basically just his winter outfit with a backpack on. Now, I know that isn't technically a backpack, but you understand what I'm trying to say. The new outfit for Bakugo, it is just his winter outfit with a backpack. And you're probably gonna burn like 2,000 tickets trying to get that thing. Okay, maybe 1,000 because of the pity system. But what I'm trying to say is, if you already have the winter outfit, it feels like a slap in the face to try and roll for that, because you are probably going to be tossing so many of your tickets down the drain to get an outfit which looks near enough identical, but just with, you know, some kind of backpack feature looking thing on it. If you're like me, you're a costume peasant. I'm very bad with costume rolls. I just tend to never get them. And I end up having to pity all my costumes because I'm pathetic. So if you're like me, then you probably won't mind too much. Watching that back, I should have came down with a beta stomp, but I was probably too worried about being punished. So as soon as you get a derby down, it's all systems go. It's like, kill that man! You never want him to get up. You know, you never want this guy to breathe. Where was I anyway? Yeah, if you're like me, you know, you're a bit of a costume peasant. You suffer from poverty when it comes to costume rolls. Maybe it is worth rolling for that new Bakugo outfit. If I don't even know if he's still in the thing, but the gacha rolls for it. But if you don't have the winter outfit, I would say roll for it. But if you want it, obviously. But if you do have the winter outfit, it's almost as if you would just say, what is the point? Because I essentially have that outfit, I just don't have the backpack to go with it. And again, I know it's not a backpack, but it just looks like one. To be fair, if you ever saw a kid walk into your school with a backpack like that, you know, all this ammunition, probably leave. Just go. I don't care what class you have coming up next, just leave that school. Trust me. You don't want to be there. Little funny story as well from a long time ago. Do you guys remember that game, Marvel's Avengers? Marvel's Avengers. It was made by Crystal Dynamics. Anyway. I used to stream that game a lot, back when I was more of a streamer. And, yeah. It's funny, because in that game, you had a lot of outfits. You know, you had Captain America outfits, Thor outfits, Black Widow outfits. You get the idea, right? But they were called skins in the game. They were called skins. So they weren't called costumes. They weren't called outfits. Like, the game term was skins. And oh man, that Captain America skin is so good. Oh wow, that Hulk skin looks awesome. Blah blah blah. And I remember one time I was playing with my friend, and he got like a really cool Thor outfit. And so we're just playing, we're beating up enemies. Oh wow, this is great. And I saw his outfit, and I was like, wow, that's such a cool foreskin you have. And my friend goes, what did you just say? And I said, you're Thorskin. It's so nice. If you haven't already understood the joke, it sounds like you're saying foreskin, like of your private area, right? And ever since then, I was like, oh man, that sounds terrible. Like, no, I didn't mean it like that. And then we had a good laugh about it. Because again, like, Thor is called Thor, and outfits in that game are called skins. So what happens when you put them two together? You know, you end up calling it like foreskin, Thorskin, and you think, oh, crikey. This is not what I need to be out here saying loudly for everyone to hear. Especially complimenting someone on it. Tragic. Thankfully, we don't have that problem in this game. Oh, can you? Oh, I really wish, looking back on this clip, I really wish I got that counter with the bait. It would have been so nice. You can always tell when a Mirio hates your guts, you know, because you're countering him or you caught him unawares. You know, he starts zipping around with frustration, bubbling around him. He's like, just you wait until I catch you in my alpha chain. I'm like, yeah, keep the alpha chain away from me. Does anyone else have like a very strange sense of satisfaction where when you're using a group heal, you want your teammates to be taking damage? I know it sounds, I don't even know how it sounds. It sounds, you know, counterproductive, but I love seeing my teammates getting beaten to a pulp while I'm healing them with a group shield, because then I feel like I'm really doing. I don't want them to go down because then it completely defiles the purpose. But when I'm seeing them get hurt, and I'm thinking, yeah, in about 2 seconds, all of this is about to become blue and green again for them. It's such a good feeling, you know. So when I'm using group heals, I'm like, oh, please, teammates, just get hit a few times, just so it looks like what I'm doing is really beneficial. You know, even more beneficial than it was in the first place. But on a more technical note, like that's just from like an emotional standpoint. On a more technical note, if you think about it, the enemy's wasting quirk usage on them. And then you're going to heal that, so then your teammate's going to be healed, and the person they're fighting is going to have 1, 2, 3 less quirks on their quirk reloads, which could be a big thing. See, there is a technical side to it. All mites stay hitting me with their splash damage and not actual direct hits. Alright, you guys want to see something cool here? Don't worry, I won't say it until it happens, but you're gonna like it. Here it is. 1, 2, 3. Triple kill. Look at that, in quick succession. 3 down in a matter of seconds. 1, 2, 3, like a WWE referee counting a pin. See you later, Bakugo. Nice knowing you, All Might. Hey, aren't you the guy who was supposed to inherit One for All? Forget about it. Game-ending triple. You love to see it. GG to those guys. GG to Lemony Bubbly. My name is Lemony Bubbly. Shout out to you, bro. And yeah, there you have it. First game. Bit of fun on commentary. You know how it goes. Alright, second game. And this is what I think is my quickest ranked game win ever. So, not the quickest ranked game win ever, but my quickest ranked game win ever. Take a seat twice, and I'm only gonna tell you once. Toga, you ain't Ochako. Don't be doing that foolishness. Come on. Behave. Why do they have such similar usernames? Ghoul. It reminds me of Tokyo Ghoul. I liked Tokyo Ghoul, but I always felt like it wasn't as good as everyone thought it was. Which is kind of the same way I feel about Jujutsu Kaisen. I like Jujutsu Kaisen, I just don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is. But I still like it. I'm not saying it's trash. You know, you can You know, you can like something but not think it's amazing. But which do I think is better out of those two? I don't really know. What do you guys think? What's better, Tokyo Ghoul or Jujutsu Kaisen? Because they both kind of like came out of nowhere in their respective times and then took over the anime world for like a bit, and then they kind of like simmered down. And I think that's kind of similar for how JJK has been as well. You know, it came around, everyone was like, whoa, this is amazing. And then it kind of simmered down from there. As opposed to like a Demon Slayer, which came around, took everyone by storm, and stayed taking everyone by storm, right? Demon Slayer. Tell me in the comments, Demon Slayer fans, who is your favorite Hashira? No spoilers for those people who might not have seen it yet, or aren't up to date or whatever. Just tell me, who's your favorite Hashira? Just simple, easy comment. My favorite Hashira, easy peasy, Kyojuro Rengoku. Love that guy. If you don't love that guy, there's something wrong with you. Not if he's not your favorite. It doesn't have to be your favorite. But if you don't at the very least like Kyojuro, what is the matter with you? Seriously. What is the matter with you? You need to go and talk to someone about that. Legend. Man, I got a lot of people with betas in this game. Kind of forgot about that. The beta king, I would call myself, if it didn't make me sound like such a soy boy. You know, the beta king makes it sound like you're like the best beta male. Yeah, not for me. Thankfully, I haven't felt how it feels for a long time to be a low mobility character caught in a puddle of Strike Shigaraki's damage. Oh, and also a shout out to Gods Flavio. Oh my god, another beta. Another beta. So thumbs down on your magic show from me, Mr. Compress. Yeah, shout out to Gods Flavio and Akuma, Dave. You know, great players, really fun to play with. Look at that. 10 KA so far in a very short amount of time. Mina! Yeah, this is definitely my shortest ranked game that I can remember in recent memory. Mount Lady went big. She goes, well, time to go. No, never mind. It's done. I guess I'll just shrink down again. I got a bit ahead of myself there. I think a comp of one assault, one technical, no, sorry, not technical, one assault, one rapid, and one strike is always like a very safe, very reliable team comp. Alright, GG's on that one. So that was the fastest ranked game that that I've ever had. The actual time for it, let's go find out, because I started the video a little bit and it's always Ida's that rapid emote, isn't it? What's that? 5 minutes 27 seconds. So that was the yeah, as far as my recent memory and as far as any evidence I have, that's definitely my quickest ranked win. 5 minutes 27 seconds. Good times. Let me know as well in the comments, what's your quickest ranked win? Is it quicker than that, slower than that, or roughly round about the same? You know, it's not a race, but it is pretty cool when you're in when you win a ranked game fairly quickly. All right, probably gonna go into discussing the latest My Hero Academia episode on this next one. So thank you guys for watching this far into the video. I know the matches weren't particularly excelente, but they were good enough. But of course, as said before, the main point of this video is to talk about the latest episode. It's just when I do when I highlight in the title and stuff that it's gonna be a spoiler episode, like no one wants to click it. So I feel like this is the best way for me to do it, to get you guys in here thinking it's a normal video, which it relatively is, but then also for those who do like My Hero Academia, which is like friggin' most of you, click on My Hero game videos, right? You know, then you have the option here to stick around if you do want to, you know, talk about that new episode and such. I think probably in the thumbnail or the title I'll do something about Gearshift anyway, which is, you know, should give you an idea without being too much. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this far into the video. If you are not going to watch the last match because you don't want to see the spoilers for the new episode yet, that is a-okay. Thank you for being here. Leave a like, leave a comment. Be careful when you do scroll on in the comments as well. People might try to spoil things or they might say stuff. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And if you are going to stick around to the next bit, well, let's get right into that then. Okay, latest My Hero Academia episode. So basically, just to kick things off with it, we saw Deku arrive at the coffin in the sky. Shigaraki has been running riot for a good old amount of time. And finally, we now have someone in the coffin of the sky that can take him head on, you know, blow for blow. And, you know, that is none other than Deku himself. And it was an absolute beauty to see Deku turn up and lay the smackdown on Shigaraki. Now, one of my favorite things about this, I think some people might say, oh, didn't it feel a bit too one-sided? Why was Shigaraki getting smacked around? Why wasn't it more even? Two things for you to think about if you're thinking about it that way. First of all, that's not Shigaraki at full power because his quirks outside of his, you know, his physical ability are being hindered by, you know, Monima and Aizawa. So Shigaraki would be performing better if he had access to all of his quirks. He doesn't, thank God. So yeah, there's that for you to think about if you thought it was too easy for Deku. Remember, Shigaraki is at a disadvantage, as weird as that is to say. And number two, Shigaraki's been getting away with it for a while. We've seen him episode after episode tanking anything that comes his way and then battering anyone who even looks at him wrong. So it was really good for a change to see Shigaraki be on the ropes, see him be the one that's, you know, flailing around, see him be the one that's flustered, see him be the one who can't seem to get any offense off. So I thought it was a really nice switch up where it's like, hey, the shoe's now on the other foot and that shoe is smacking you over the head. How do you feel about it? And as a viewer, I loved seeing Shigaraki, you know, get that comeuppance to him, which hopefully will be the start of many more comeuppances because, you know, there's a long way for that guy to go yet before we're gonna all feel happy. You know, for me, I'll be happy when he's paced on the ground. I don't know if I'm gonna get that sooner or later. I feel like, you know, the guy who runs My Hero Academia, I feel like he kind of likes Shigaraki, so I don't know what the outcome is gonna be there. But as a self-proclaimed Shigaraki hater, you know, it was good watching him get blasted. Gearshift. Let's talk about Gearshift. Deku's newest and I think most likely the last quirk that he's going to get from, you know, the One For All catalog, as I like to call it. The One For All catalog. Gearshift. Can't remember the guy's name, but I believe he was the second One For All user. I used to call him, well, I still call him Ichigo, because he looks like Ichigo from Bleach. So yeah, the Ichigo One For All user. Finally, we got to see what his quirk was, and that was Gearshift. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. So what it does, essentially, is it can like change the speed of objects, and you know, at the One For All level, it can change the speed of like Deku, cells. It can change down to a cellular level, whereas before it used to be just small objects and such. Back when he had it himself. But now that Deku has it and powered by One For All, you can change things speed on a cellular level. At least that's what the translation I watched said. And it was very, very cool. I was worried partially because they was bigging this guy's quirk up quite a bit. And I was thinking, what's this guy's quirk going to be? How much is it really going to affect anything? How's it going to play in with the rest of them? And I like to tell you that, you know, it, for me at least, it delivered. I think it's a very cool quirk. I like the idea of it. It's not like too simple and it's not ridiculously complicated. It's like a nice balance in between of being something like relatively flashy and something relatively hard hitting without being, you know, some hokey kind of thing. So I liked it. I thought it was shown very, very cool in tangent with the way Deku used his abilities, especially when he did that, you know, like that 3, 4, 5 tier punch where he changed gears throughout each punch, and he was hitting him first gear, hit him again second gear, hit him again third gear. I'm like, boy, go up to 100 gears if you want. I love seeing you punch Shigaraki. And then, you know, he just powered him away. The animation on this episode was absolutely splendid. You know, I know from the movies as well that whenever Deku goes into, like, you know, his quote unquote like final form, they animate him so well. He just looks so good. You know, especially from Heroes Rising, the second movie, I love the way they animate, you know, him when he's going full power there against 9. Just absolutely unreal stuff. So again, it looked really, really cool in this episode. I was a huge fan of how that gear shift worked, how it operated, and how it looked. You know, the cool blue, almost like a rapid color blue, you know, whenever he used it. And that weird, you know, like duct tape-esque effect to it, where it's like, you know, well, I can't obviously make a duct tape noise in my mouth, but you know what I'm talking about. I was about to try it, and I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm gonna look like I'm mentally fucking ill if I try to make a duct tape noise with my mouth here. So you get the idea. Yeah, really, really cool stuff there. I'm trying to think what else happened that's of note that I can bring up. And yeah, of course as well, you know, it's quite interesting because, you know, Shigaraki, or All For One I should say, he's been alluding to, you know, how much he think the second One For All was a beetle, an insect, how he disliked him, hated him. And I was always thinking, what has he got against this one guy? Because we don't normally see All For One get super personal. All For One is usually, you know, very calm and collected, and even when he does hate someone, he's still got that, you know, that smarmy tone about him where he kind of still feels like he's in control. But when it came to that one guy, you know, Ichigo, Ichigo One For All user, you know, he seemed to really take that personal, which is kind of uncharacteristic for All For One in how he displays his emotions. And even in that flashback when he was holding him up, even after he defeated him, he was crying. I'm thinking, why is All For One shedding tears over this enemy that he's defeated? And I'm not too sure. Maybe they're going to explain it more, but it was my assumption that the reason why he was shedding tears when he defeated, you know, the second One For All user in that flashback is because I could be wrong on this, but maybe it's because he's the one, you know, that took One For All away from, you know, All For One's brother. One For All from All For One's brother. So maybe that was the cause of, you know, All For One's brother dying or disappearing, or, you know, no longer him being able to have access to that quirk. I just assumed that because he's the second One For All, it means that, you know, All For One's brother died in the process of giving him that One For All quirk or something like that. And, you know, that's why he took that particular fight very personally, to the point where he was crying tears, or at least had tears streaming down his face, after he had beaten him and was holding him up by the neck. Again, I could be wrong on that. Maybe they're going to explain it. Maybe they're not. I don't know. That's just what I got off you know, the first viewing there. See, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go back to the flashback when All For One is lifting up Ichigo, One For All user, by the neck. He's had tears coming down his shadowed out face. So that's what I'm referring to. So yeah, that you know, was good for me. I like that. I like the second One For All user. I think he looks cool. I like the design of him. Shout out to Ichigo Kurosaki. And you know, his power was cool, and then made even cooler by the way Deku applies it. Another thing for me as well, when Deku turned up, I was really hoping that he was gonna feel massively affected by what happened to Bakugo and the others, because I didn't want Deku to turn up, see dead Bakugo, and then be like, Shigaraki, you can still change. I'm like, no, F that. When you show up, Deku, I expect you to be in pieces emotionally, because I don't want to see this, you know, this usual, maybe I can still help Shigaraki here. It's like, no. When you see what's effectively, you know, your childhood friend, what looks to be dead, I do not expect you to be pulling, you know, the Tanjiro speech. I expect you to be real mad right now, and it delivered. Deku looked like he was hit with an emotional train, and he was about to go Anakin Skywalker, you know, on Shigaraki One For All, whatever you want to call that current manifestation of him. So I was very happy with that. I love the artwork, I love the expression, the emotion. I thought it was fantastic. And then again, Mirio showing why he's not just all about his quirk. He's such a great emotional support character in the way that he brought Deku back to reality. He brought him back down to, you know, an emotional state that he could control, that he could keep his emotions in check from, that he could not let himself, you know, perform more predictably and, you know, more recklessly. So Mirio, very important role there in bringing Deku back to, you know, some state of you know, emotional stability But yeah, I just love that Deku reaction, the way he saw how everyone was so messed up, especially Bakugo, and I was like, yes, this is what I needed to see. I needed to see that Deku was going to take this as seriously as possible. I needed to see that this was going to hit him hard, so that this fight is not just going to be him trying to help another villain. Like, it goes beyond that, goes far beyond that. And I don't even know how I didn't hit that Derby there. This dude just like nightcrawled his way out of my attacks. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Did you want Deku to like go off the rails when he showed up? Because that's what he looked like he was about to do, which is what I wanted. So I was happy to see that. And again, shout out to Mirio for realizing that and then keeping him in check. Even Shigaraki was saying, yeah, this is great actually. Be upset, please. You're gonna be even easier for me to beat now. And then obviously that didn't quite get to pan out for him. You know, thankfully for us. Overall, fantastic episode. Very well directed. Very great animation. Obviously, we all know the voice acting on the sub is unreal. Cementos dodged the fucking bullet there. Overall, fantastic, and yeah, very great episode. The only downside, I think, of that whole episode for me is in the preview for the next episode, where it looks like we're going to be stuck with flipping Spinner for about 23 minutes. Like, dude, All For One is fighting like a bunch of people in his prime. Shigaraki, All For One, is fighting Deku, and you know, Darby is fighting Todoroki. Do you really think we want to see Spinner right now? do you really think we want to see Spinner? I do not. Just give me the flipping rundown in the background or something, what's happening over there. I don't want to see Spinner fight. Not right now. I feel like we have so many great options to watch for fights, and we're going to get stuck with Spinner and whatever's going on over there, which I think is a bit of a letdown. I understand it needs to happen. It's probably going to have its plot relevance, don't get me wrong, but when you're waiting a whole week, sometimes 2 weeks for an episode, I don't really want to see Spinner, but, you know, it is what it is, and we're just going to have to, we're going to have to take it. I'm not saying it's going to be a trash episode. I'm just saying it's not what we want to see right now. No one wants to see Spinner right now. but it is what it is, and we're just going to have to swallow that pill. That lizardy green pill. Is there anything else I'm missing? I think I pretty much got like the bulk of it there. I think I pretty much got the bulk of it. Just give me a minute, let me think. Oh yeah, I love the way, you know, when it showed all of like, you know, the different stars of One For All coming together for Deku when he was fighting. That part was so cool as well, because it just reminded me of how, do you guys remember the start of My Hero Academia? How far Deku has come. It actually gets me kind of choked up when I'm watching that episode and I see that moment, and then I think about Deku at the beginning, no quirk, no nothing, just wants to be a hero, and even when he gets it, can barely use it, struggling to keep up with everyone, his own quirk is against him, his own quirk is his biggest hater, you know, all of that stuff, and now here we are, and he's just like the most fascinating, most intriguing, most skilled, talented, strongest hero ever, and you're like, wow, this really was a long time in the making, and now we're seeing it, you know, at its absolute apex, and it really is a glorious thing to see. And yeah, it just kind of gave me chills, man. I was just thinking about how far he's come in the show and how much Deku has matured as a character and as a hero. And yeah, I just love that whole thing when it just shows all of, you know, the One For All stars and sparkles and they all come together. I'm thinking, man, this is it right here. This is cinema. To quote Hollywood, this is cinema. So yeah, really good overall episode. I would love to see what you guys thought of the various aspects of the episode, and you know, whatever I've touched upon in the comments. So let me know, what did you think of Gearshift? Do you think that guy looks like Ichigo Kurosaki? How did you feel about the fight, the animation? Anything else that comes to your mind? I would love to hear it. You guys know I'm always down to hear what you have to say. And yeah, anything else, feel free to put it down there. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Setano. You've been great. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And yeah, pray that the Spinner episode isn't too boring. Peace.